Hello everybody, blessings on this wonderful full moon day, which they have said the moon today has come after a duration of approximately 70 years. In this, the Sadguru and all the masters of the world are in their blessing mode to bless you and to teach you to celebrate livingness. Now let's talk about celebrating livingness. Many people have often asked me what it is like in states of meditation, in states of samadhi, in states of supraconscious samadhi. What are these states like? Where do you go? What do you celebrate? What are your spiritual experiences in this state of expanded consciousness? So I'm going to explain to you now briefly. It will be spoken in the Hindi and Bhojpuri language and translated into English, called Celebrating Livingness. What are these? This poetry is called the joys of festivals in meditation and in samadhi. Of course, these are states of savikalpa samadhi. So the first verse in Celebrating Livingness, in Shambhala, what happens when the yogi, I have made this poem, Joys of Festivals in Meditation, called Hum Paradesi Bades Bhai. So the first verse goes, the celebration. Hum paradesi bades bhai, jahan janam maran na hot, bar mas amiras pan piye, hum jaga hum na hot tare bhai, hota hum ki maut. So the yogi says, when I go into meditation, this is my personal experience. I feel that I am not of this world. I belong to another land. Hum paradesi bades bhai, where there is no life or death. In that land, people are immortal. And when we go into trance and meditation, we feel that there is a certain elixir of immortality about us, within and without us. And we have that inner knowingness that we can never die. Hum paradesi bades bhai, jahan janam maran na hot. Life and death there is not. Bar mas amiras pan piye, hum jaga hum na hot. So all the 12 months, I am drinking of the ambrosia and of the nectar of the great city, the white island at Shambhala, called Sambalpur. This is the celebration of the yogi in his supraconscious states of samadhi. The next experience I had, which I put into poetic form, is Hum paradesi bades bhai, jahan roj basant bahar, jai pagiya sapt kamal khilaban, go raksha charan shranghar, are bhai raksha charan shranghar. So he says, I am a traveler to this land. I belong to the land of Shambhala, the divine island. And in that land, it is ever spring. It's always spring. There is never the cold and cruel winters or the hot-heated summers to torture the person. Flowers are always there. The garden is always blooming. And this is the season of Basant, the season of spring. And he says, in that perpetual spring, the fresh season, the 7 lotuses of my chakras all open up. And he says, I say in this, all these opened lotus chakras of mine are dedicated at the feet of Gorakshanath, Shiv Goraksha Babaji. This is the second verse of Celebrating Livingness. How a yogi celebrates livingness in his supraconscious states of samadhi. Supraconscious states of samadhi. Third verse goes, Are hum paradesi bades bhai, Now this is about the festival Holi. The first one was the second verse was Basant Panchami. The second festival is the festival of Holi in India, the festival of colors. हम परदेसी बादेश भये जहाँ हर दिन होरी होत वहाँ सप्त रंग पिचकार फुआर हम निर्गुण रंगी हो तरे भाई निर्गुण अंगी हो हम परदेसी बादेश भये. So he says, in this festival of colors called Holi, many people spray the divine colors of light and rainbows upon one another in this holy land of Shambhala. And as these colors are sprayed, the colors of love and compassion, devotion, dedication, integrity, sacrifice, all these are the 7 colors of the rainbow which have their hues. But when you go beyond this and you spin fast with the 7 colors, you whirl round and round in the Vivar, the Krishna Vivar, the Shiva Vivar, you spring round and round. All the 7 colors of the spectrum, the colors which are sprayed onto your body, turn to the color white. Satarang pichakar fuaram nirguna rangi ho tare bhai nirguna angi ho hum pardesi badesh bhai. So now the 4th verse is of the festival of lights called Diwali. We had Basant Panchami, then we had Holi, now we have Diwali. Are hum paradesi वहाँ सप्त रंग का चरखा फिर थर दिन दीवारी हो अरे भाई दिन दीवारी हो. He says, in the festival of lights, I go, all the 7 chakras of mine are spinning like 7 wheels of fire, multicolored in 7 colors, and so brilliant and full of light and love are those colors that even in the daytime you can see the inner lights of the spiritual self, before which the daylight fades into insignificance. This is Diwali, the festival of colors. And after the festival of colors comes the 5th joys of festivals in the superconscious states of Samadhi, which is called the Dasara, the royal festival, the festival of sound and music and valor, all these colors. Are hum pardesi badesh bhaye Are hum pardesi badesh bhaye. So this is Dasara. जहाँ बजत 36 राग दसरा नौबत नाद करे और राग करे ओमकार. So he says, in this festival of Dasara, you see, India is such an ancient and a rich culture that they are very, very deeply rooted festivals, celebrations I would call. This is the way to celebrate life. The common man celebrates these festivals outside, externally, objectively, and the yogi celebrates these festivals subjectively and internally. So the festival of Dasara, Jaha Bajata 36 Rag, the symphonies, there are 36 symphonies, 6 rags and 6 raganis. And these rags and raganis are heard. When I go into that state of samadhi, I go into the land of the Hamsas, the land of the brave, the land of divinity, the land of purity called Shambhala. There is the White Island, where when the king comes, he is honored with the 36 symphonies of music. Dasra Naubat Naad Kare, and the drum, the bongos, the drums, they make a sound. Om. And so sweet is the sound that it puts you into a state of trance. Of course, the yogi is already listening to this in a state of trance and samadhi, but he goes further deeper to revel in these joys of celestial music. So this is the festival of Dasara. Now the 6th verse comes as the yogi, in celebrating life and livingness, he is giving his true identity, who he is and where he belongs to. Are hum paradesi badesh bhaye Jaha gorakha atma ram Wahi soham hams ka khel karat Aur hum baithat aram Mare bhai hum baithat bisram Hum paradesi badesh bhaye. So he says in this verse, this is not his identity. This is where He says that so dedicated am I to Babaji, to Shiv Goraksha Babaji. So dedicated I am that I forget myself. And I am so surrendered to him that in this state of trance, he is doing the japa of Shiv Goraksha, Om Ring Rang Raksha Raksha Goraksha Om. And I am just observing myself. And the sound is coming from within me that somebody else is doing the japa. Gorakshnath is doing the japa and I am just the witness. So he is so loving and merciful. So he says, I go to the country and the land where Babaji is the supreme king. Shiv Goraksha Babaji, the king of Shambhala, the king of Shveddeep, the White Island. And he says, when I go there, Babaji is the one who's chanting for me because I've surrendered myself so much to him that it is he and not me who's doing the chant. And then last of all, he comes to the verse of giving his identity in the superconscious states of ecstasy called Samadhi. Hum paradesi bades bhaye, are hum paradesi bades bhaye, जिसे कहत है परम धाम, सिद्धनाथ हमारो नाम है, गाँव अमृत घट विश्राम, अरे भाई अमृत घट विश्राम, हम परदेसी बदेस भये. So in this state I experienced that I had gone to deep far land in my innermost consciousness, and I gave them my identity that my name is Siddhanath. The state or the boundless country where I live, the town where I live, is known as Paramdham. जिसे कहत है Paramdham. Siddhanath is my name. Siddhanath हमारो नाम है. And the name of my village, my town, is Amrita Ghat Visaram. Amrita Ghat Visaram. It is the house of rest, where you get total satisfaction and rest in the third eye, in the third ventricle, in the Brahma Gufa of the third eye. It is called Amrit Ghat, the source of nectar. The name of the town is Source of Nectar, and a place for eternal peace and rest. My name is Siddhanath. I come from the town of Shambhala, the White Island, in a place called Parampad in Shambhala. And the name of my town is the nectar of eternal rest, which is located deep behind the third eye, in the third ventricle called the Brahma Gufa. That's where I reside. So this is the joys of festivals in Dhyan. This is celebrating festivals within you. And my blessings to you all. Someday you get similar experiences, if not the same. You carry on practicing. First it's a tough journey, then you go through some arid desert land. But don't worry, keep practicing, and my blessings are with you. God bless and Godspeed. Shambhu Chaitanya, Shambhu Chaitanya, Shambhu Chaitanya. Om Namah Shivaya.